So I am going to be recording now. So thank you everyone for being here and welcome to today's session or today's webinar where we're discussing how to break into six-figure data and AI careers. And we're talking about data management, data governance, and AI governance, even with zero tech background. And so we're going to be looking at the CDMP certification pathway. So can you please put in the chat? I love having interactive sessions. So please put in the chat, where are you joining us from? Where are you? Where are you joining us from? Please put that in the chat. Where are you joining us from? I'll be monitoring the chats to see your responses. Where are you joining us from? Okay, so I see Edmonton. Awesome. Montreal. Awesome. Dallas. All right, put in the chat, where are you joining us from? Okay, that's great. So if you've been watching from the sidelines as AI and data roles explode, and you're feeling like you've missed the boat because you don't have a tech degree or coding skills, I'm here today to tell you one thing. You're actually in the perfect position to break into tech right now, to break into data and AI roles right now. And I'm going to show you exactly how you can do that in the next 60 minutes. So I like to do a bit of a check before I get started, because I like to say that the training is not for everyone. So if I say something that aligns with you, feel free to write a yes in the chat. So this training is for you if you feel underpaid, undervalued, or overqualified in your current role. If you want a higher paying career with better work-life balance and benefits, then this is for you. If you're an immigrant who came to Canada, US, or the UK for a better life, but you've been forced to take on low-paying jobs that are below your skill level and experience, then this training is for you. If I say anything that aligns with you, put a yes in the chat. If you're tired of applying for jobs and not getting interviews, or you want to transition into tech, but you don't have coding skills or a tech degree, then this is for you. If you're worried about AI changing the job market and you want to stay ahead, or you want to add data skills as a competitive advantage, then this is for you as well. And then if you've been trying to figure it out alone, but it feels overwhelming, or you're ready for a career change that could transform your life, then this training is definitely for you. Now, I like to also check because it's still not for everybody. It's possible to say yes to the first side or the first slide, but then there are still some other conditions that you may not meet. So this training is not for you. If you're looking for a get-rich-quick scheme, this is not for you. If you're not willing to invest time learning new skills, then it's not for you. If you're not open to continuous learning and growth, it is also not for you. If you expect career transformation without effort, then it's not for you. If you're not ready to put in the work that it takes to transition into six-figure roles, then it's also not for you. So if you still said yes, or if you didn't say yes to any of this, if you meet this condition, then let me tell you what you will be getting at the end of this masterclass. So at the end of this masterclass, you will know why data management, data governance, and AI governance are fast growing and in high demand. You would also know why you should align your career with roles that grow with AI. Then you would know how you can leverage your previous experience in any industry to break into data management or data and AI governance. Then you would know my proven land method, which would help you get called for interviews, sell yourself powerfully, and negotiate six-figure salaries. You would also know the step-by-step roadmap which professionals like you have used to secure high-paying roles across the globe. And finally, you'll know how Tech Thrivers can help you position as a six-figure data and AI professional in 8 weeks. So my promise to you is I'll deliver as much value as I can in this free 60 minutes class. Nothing I teach is based on theory. I broke into tech successfully. I transformed my life and that of my family and that of my mentees as well, because I have a lot of mentees in Canada, in the US, in the UK, and a lot of them have transformed their lives. So I teach people to do what I have done and what has been working for me and my mentees. So everything I'm teaching you today actually works. So basically, everything you need to know so you can grow your income to over $100,000 using predictable, repeatable systems instead of guesswork, failure, or fake it till you make it tactics. Now, who's this training brought to you by? This training is brought to you by Tech Travers Consulting, we're a Canadian education technology company that empowers non-tech professionals to land high-paying tech roles through upskilling, career coaching, and mentoring. So we're a Microsoft training services partner. We've trained hundreds of professionals. Our students are typically in Canada, US, UK, Australia, and Nigeria. We have over 6 tracks, 6 career tracks. So we have data governance, data analytics, business analysis, cybersecurity, and AI programs. And we help our students get an average starting salary of $90,000. So we don't just train you, we transform your career. That is usually our goal when we work with students. Meet the leadership and advisory team. So we have Jennifer. I'm Jennifer. I have over 20 years experience in education, leadership, and entrepreneurship across 3 continents. And I've led data and AI teams in government and private sector. I'm a career coach and consultant. We also have Dr. Eunice on our team. She has over 20 years of experience at Shell Petroleum Development Company as a procurement manager, and now she's a university professor in the UK. She's an expert in governance, compliance, and contract management. Then we have Francis. Francis has over 15 years experience driving enterprise data and AI transformation across oil and gas, insurance, retail, and financial services. We also have Gregory. Gregory has over 20 years experience leading enterprise strategy and data and AI innovation initiatives across finance, banking, healthcare, and professional services. We have Anthony on our team as well. He has over 20 years experience delivering complex projects across financial services, higher education, and nonprofit sector at some of Canada's most respected institutions. And finally, we have Christopher on our team. Christopher has 20 years experience supporting enterprise data environments at the government of Alberta. He's a specialist in data stewardship, data quality, and career transition coaching. So this is the team behind Tech Travers Consulting. As our last year, towards the end of last year, we expanded our reach or our services to Africa, so Nigeria specifically, and we set up a tech training hub in Nigeria. So here is a little bit about my background, and I will tell you why I like to share my backstory. I share my backstory because a lot of times, what the people that we focus on helping or working with are non-tech professionals who are trying to transition. And so I like to say that if I can do it, you can do it as well. So that's why I share my backstory. This was me a few years back. I was a Montessori educator, an education consultant. I founded Teach Always and the Teachers Hub. These are teacher training organizations. I was an entrepreneur as well. Still, I'm an entrepreneur. Also, I worked with UNICEF as an early childhood consultant, and then I was the founder of, or I'm the founder of My Tutorland. So I did a lot within the education space before I transitioned to tech. I run 2 schools in Nigeria. So we have Ruby Center, Iris Center, and the school is South Pacific School. I still run the schools remotely. So like many of you on this call, I come from a non-tech background. So I've trained over 10,000 career professionals in the past 8 years, and I've gained recognition for my work from the federal government of Nigeria, Tony Elumelu Foundation, Farafina, UNICEF, Lagos Business School, and She Leads Africa. Then I migrated to Alberta, Canada. And today I'm a data consultant leading a team of data and AI professionals in one of the biggest organizations in Canada. I'm a data and AI consultant for SMEs in North America and Africa. I work fully remote, giving me time and flexibility for my family. I love to talk about working fully remote because I understand that for a lot of people, you may be wondering, is it still possible to work remotely? Are there still remote jobs out there? There are. I work remotely. A number of my mentees work remotely as well. So that's very possible for you if that's something that you want. I'm also an official trainer for Microsoft. So that's MCT. I train companies on the use of Microsoft technologies. I'm a tech career coach. I take people by the hand through a step-by-step process to earning six figures in data and AI careers. And I have clients that earn anywhere from $85,000 to $250,000. Now, by certifications, I'm CDMP certified, so that is Certified Data Management Professional. That's the certification we will be talking about today. I'm DCAM certified as well. That is also a data management certification. I'm an MCT, that is Microsoft certified trainer. I have the CBAB, that's for business analysis. I'm a Microsoft certified Power BI data analyst. I'm a certified project management professional. That's PMP, and I'm also a certified Scrum Master. That is the PSM1. All right, I'm the founder of Tech Drivers Consulting, founder of Ivy Spark Tech as well. And our mission is simple: to raise a global workforce of data and AI professionals. Now, this has been my journey through the years. So I started off as an educator in Nigeria and migrated to Canada, where I started it all over, just like a lot of you on this call would be doing or would have done in the past, migrating and starting afresh. Then I became a senior data analyst and then grew to becoming a data consultant. And today I'm the founder of Tech Drivers Consulting. So this has been my career journey and progression through the years. You may be wondering how I moved from being an educator to becoming a senior data analyst and then becoming a data and AI consultant in Canada, where the job market is tight, mostly for immigrants who come with no Canadian work experience. And this is the same issue that a lot of my students face as well, because they've migrated to America or to US or even Australia, and they don't have that local experience. So how do they then transition into tech? Because many organizations will not hire you if you don't have experience. So what I'm going to do is give you the step-by-step process, which you can also replicate. Now,
Hey
here's the
Jennifer,
problem that, yes,
how long
someone,
it took you to do those certifications, if you don't mind me
okay,
asking?
okay, it's just I don't want to break my flow of thoughts, but
Oh, sorry,
for this,
sorry.
yes, but there'll be time. Okay, so at the end of the session, that's why I said I'll run through this for 1 hour or hopefully less, and then there'll be time for questions. I hope that's okay, so I don't break my train of thoughts.
No,
But
it's
please
okay.
hold
It's
that question.
it
All
just
right.
crossed my mind because you had shared your certifications. That's why.
Yes, yes. Thank you for asking. Just hold the question. Yes, but it took me years. It took me years. It wasn't a 1 year thing. It took me years to get this. And I just gradually, started with one and kept growing. Okay, so here's the problem that we're here to solve, the problem that I've seen. Talented professionals are being left out of the tech economy. And the reason they are being left out of the tech economy is they don't know where to start because the entry points are hidden. They think they need to code, so they don't even apply because they are scared of coding. Or they don't realize their existing skills are already worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. And finally, they wait years to feel ready. Now, while you're waiting years to feel ready, the job is going to people who are less qualified than them. And hopefully, what we're trying to do today is encourage you so that we can fix this. So that after today's session, you're not going to be held back by any of these reasons. So let's talk about the 5 biggest lies about breaking into tech and specifically data and AI careers. The first is people think that you need to code to work in tech. That is not true. Yes, there are lots of coding roles in tech, but there are also lots of non-coding roles in tech that would pay you really well. So examples are data governance, data management. These are non-coding roles. Business analysis is a non-coding role. Project management, that's non-coding as well. Data analytics, I like to say, is a little or no coding role, depending on the organization where you find yourself. Another myth is AI is replacing data jobs. I know, yes, everyone is getting scared this period hearing about AI. AI is moving so fast. And so there's that, excuse me, there's that nervousness as to whether AI is replacing data professionals. The truth is, AI is not replacing data professionals. It's increasing demand for structured data as AI is built on data. So AI needs clean data, data policies, data governance, ethical oversight. So with AI, it is garbage in, garbage out. And that creates higher demand for certain data roles. And I'm going to be exploring this in more detail as we move along. Another myth is you need a computer science degree. The truth is, most hiring managers care about skill demonstration and proof of experience, not your degrees. So they like to see that you have worked on projects or you have portfolios, case studies, and certification. One thing I like to say, certification alone will not give you a job, but certification puts you at an advantage. We're going to talk more about that later. And we teach our students how they can leverage their previous experience as well as build projects, portfolios, and get the required certification. One thing everyone should note, your previous experience is a gold mine. If you don't yet know how to use that, we'll teach you how to do exactly that because it's a gold mine. Now, coming back to another myth is that people think you must start from scratch when you're transitioning to tech. That is not true. If you've worked in teaching, administration, operations, finance, audits, HR, healthcare, government, then you have most likely dealt with policies, standards, documentation, process control, record keeping, risk management, accuracy, compliance, privacy, data protection, accountability. I can give you a long list of things that you've most likely worked with if you have some experience. So what we teach you to do is we teach you to use the previous experience, start with the experience that you already have. You already think like a data governance professional. If you've done any of this, it means that to an extent you've been applying data governance. The mindset, you may not have known that what you were doing was data governance or that you were contributing to data governance. However, if you've worked within any of this, you have contributed to data governance. So what we do is we train you so that you're not changing who you are, you're just elevating your previous experience into tech. Because it's very important to know that, unfortunately, hiring managers would not hire you if you have no experience. If you just say, oh, I have nothing, maybe I just took a boot camp, or I just learned, or I'm just learning, come and train me, they would not hire you. They would only hire you when you can prove that you have some value and that you've actually given value to another company or a series of companies in the past before them. So that's why in our program, we teach you how to map your experiences so you don't start from scratch. Then another myth is it takes 3 to 4 years to break into this field. Breaking into tech as a whole, not just data governance or AI roles, doesn't need to take you so many years. You don't need to go back to school to get another bachelor's degree or another master's degree. Of course, there's value in that. If you're someone who wants to keep learning, there's so much value in going back to school. However, if you're someone who wants to get your results quickly, you don't need to go back to get another degree. What it really takes to break into tech is structure, not years. And then what we find is that most people are unsuccessful because they don't follow a structured learning path. When you're learning something new, you should follow structure. Also, they don't know how to position their experience, which is what I've been talking about, and then trying to figure it out all on their own. When people try to figure things out on their own, is it possible to do that? Yes, there are lots of people who have broken into tech and they self-taught. So they did it by themselves. They figured out things. They went on YouTube. They watched so many videos and they were able to make it, or they were successful at it. However, the percentage of people who are successful when you go the self-learning route is not so high because there's so much information online. It's very easy to get confused. It's very easy to get into what I like to call a learning loop where you're just learning, and you don't even know at what point to stop. So trying to figure it out on your own, while that is possible for you, it may not be the best model for you. Also, many people don't know how to optimize their resume or interview correctly. So that's another reason why people are not are finding it difficult to break into the field. Like I recently reviewed the resume of one of my mentees, and she told me because she had optimized her LinkedIn for data governance, and she had been getting recruiters reach out to her. But every time they reach out to her, they don't call her back. Like they reach out to her, she applies, but she never gets a call back. And so I asked her to send me her resume. And she did. And her resume, I told her, like, I'm just going to be straight with you. Your resume is really bad. If I were hiring, I still won't call you. So, when people don't know how to optimize their resume, that is a problem as well. Then another myth is you need years of experience to get hired. The data governance, excuse me for a minute, please. All right. The data governance market is so underserved that companies will hire you if you understand the DAMA framework and governance principles, if you can demonstrate competency through portfolio projects, or you speak data language confidently. So we're talking metadata, data quality, data lineage, and some other technical terms. If you can speak the language of data confidently, then hiring managers are likely going to hire you because that shows that you know what you're doing. So we've been talking about data, and why and some myths about breaking into tech. But now let's go into understanding the data ecosystem. What's even the data ecosystem? What are the roles within data? So I'm going to break this down as much as I can for everyone. The first thing to note is that every organization runs on data, from hospitals to banks to government, you name it. Every organization runs on data. So that's why it's very easy for you to have transferable skills. Because if you've worked somewhere, you've handled data in that organization. You've handled the data one way or the other. Either you have helped them in creating their data, or you've helped them in maintaining their data, or you've been using their data. But either ways, you have helped with data, and you've already started working within the data ecosystem in some to an extent. So now there are different layers within the data ecosystem. The first is data sources. So when we talk about data sources, we're talking about where data originates. So think of transactions, forms, sensors, apps, spreadsheets, social media, IoT devices. All of these are data sources, and there are roles that are attached to this layer. Next layer is data storage, and this is where data is stored and organized. So think of databases, data warehouses, data lakes, and cloud platforms like Azure, AWS, Google Cloud. You've likely heard of some of this. Another layer, the third layer, is data management, which is where we would really be focusing a lot of today's talk on. So data management, this is about how data is governed, cleaned, secured, and made trustworthy. So it's about policies, standards, quality rules, privacy compliance, and metadata. And the final layer, which is data consumption, this is how data is used to create value. So we're talking reports, dashboards, AI models, business decisions, predictions, and insights. So data governance sits on this third layer, which is data management. And it is the most critical layer for organizational trust and compliance. So let's look at the roles within these different layers in the data ecosystem so that you can already start to identify where you would like to work. So data sources, where data is created. You have roles like database administrator, data architect as well. They design and manage where data lives. And these are high coding roles. So if you're someone who loves to code, then this may be a good role for you. Then we have the data storage layer. This is where data is stored and organized. And we have roles like the data engineer, the cloud engineer. What they do is that they build pipelines and infrastructure. These are also high code roles. So if you like to code, these roles could be good for you. And then you have data management, which is where data is governed and trusted. And here you have roles like data governance, data steward, data quality analyst. Now, these are non-coding roles. They deal with policies, standards, compliance. So if you're someone who doesn't want to code, then data management, working within the data management layer will be good for you. And then you have data consumption. This is where data creates value. And you have several roles. I would say that within these data consumption roles, they are low to high code. So data analysts, as an example, they create reports. And for data analysts, that's a low code role or a mid, so low to mid code role, or sometimes a no code role, depending, because some organizations, their data analysts are only working on Excel spreadsheets. So that's no code, right? You have data scientists, you have AI and ML engineers. These are high code roles, and the reason is they build AI models. They also help with dashboards. So like I said, these are mid to high code, but AI and ML engineer, as well as the data scientist, those are high code roles. You can't do any of those without coding a lot. So now for you, you need to choose whether you want to work in a coding role, a mid-code role, or a no-code role. But for today, we are talking about data management, data governance, which are all no-code roles. So let's look at the AI and data ecosystem. I believe we are all aware, everyone on this call is aware that we're in the middle of a structural shift. Or maybe we're at the beginning of a structural shift. I won't even say middle because AI is just getting started. So we are at the beginning of a structural shift. AI is being integrated into every industry. AI is transforming all careers. So generative AI agents, AI automation, they are reducing the value of technical skills, making them more accessible and increasing the value of strategic and business skills. Our current workforce is just touching the surface of AI capabilities. So let's look at the relationship between AI and data professionals. I like to put it this way. AI and data professionals have a two-way relationship. The first relationship is that AI needs data, and the second relationship is that data professionals use AI as a tool. So let's explore the first relationship. AI depends on data professionals. So AI is only as good as the data behind it. So AI systems require high quality data, structured metadata, data pipelines, data governance, data quality controls, bias mitigation, access management. And then without data engineers, there will be no data pipelines. Without data analysts, there will be no insights. Without data governance, there's no trust, no compliance, and as such, AI collapses. For AI to work, for an organization to successfully deploy AI, they need to have all of this. They need to have pipelines, they need to have insights, they need to have trust, they need to know that they can actually trust their data. So AI does not replace data professionals, it amplifies their importance because without data professionals, without data, you cannot have AI. The second relationship is that data professionals use AI to improve productivity and efficiency. So data professionals use AI to automate reporting, generate SQL queries, document metadata, detect anomalies, monitor data quality, draft governance policies, and accelerate workflows. These are just some of the use cases. There are so many other use cases that data professionals have with AI. So AI has raised the bar, but it didn't remove the profession. AI or data is the foundation of AI. Without data, AI collapses. AI learns from data. Poor data gives you biased AI. No data gives you no AI. Governed data gives you scalable AI. And this is where many organizations who are deploying AI currently, this is where they are at. They are trying to govern their data so that they can have scalable AI. AI, like I said, is not replacing data professionals. It's reshaping how data roles work. It's increasing the demand for strategic and business-focused data roles. So roles like data management, data governance, and data analytics. So what is a data governance professional or a data management professional? What do they do? So a data governance or data management professional helps organizations to trust their data, helps them answer questions like, is this data accurate? Is this data complete? Is this data reliable? Also helps them protect their data. So we're talking security, privacy, compliance with regulations. And finally, helps them use their data strategically. So helps them make confident decisions and implement AI safely. So you cannot implement AI safely if the data is not governed. I have these two quotes from here. One is from KPMG and the other is from PMI. And I like these quotes a lot because they just buttress or summarize nicely what I say about data and AI. Now, according to KPMG, they said 62% of organizations believe a lack of data governance is the main data challenge inhibiting AI initiatives. Then from Project Management Institute, they said AI projects are data projects. They're not just about building software, but about getting the right data and then understanding how that data drives outcome. So these two quotes are really important for you to just understand what data, the relationship between data and AI. So I found this on Reddit. I found this, should I say, little post on Reddit, and I added it to my slide because I like reading it, or I just feel like it buttresses even further the points I'm making. So this person on Reddit said, we just found out our AI has been making up analytics data for 3 months, and I'm going to throw up. So we've been using an AI agent since November to answer leadership questions about metrics. It seemed amazing at first, fast answers, detailed explanations. Everyone loved it. I just found out it's been hallucinating numbers this entire time. Our VP of sales made territory decisions based on data that didn't exist. Our CFO showed the board a deck with fake insights. The AI was just inventing plausible sounding percentages. I only caught it by accident when someone asked me to double check something. I started digging and holy shit is bad. So this is the point about data governance, why data governance is so important. This organization implemented AI, but they didn't have good data governance in place. And as a result, AI, of course, would hallucinate. So the AI did what it's known to do, or what should be expected when you don't have the right guardrails for AI. It hallucinates. And in this case, it hallucinated on their data. And then they made decisions based on data that did not exist. So you can imagine the disaster that that organization has gone through. The thing is, AI boom requires governance. This company used AI without proper oversight, and then it's $1 million mistake because the VP made territory decisions on fake data. The CFO showed the board fake insights. So think of all the decisions they've all made based on this fake data. Data quality matters, and no one validated the AI's outputs, which is a problem. With data governance, the output and the input of the AI would be validated. Then there's strategic versus tactical work. A governance professional would have caught this immediately. So at the end of the day, with AI, it is garbage in, garbage out. That's why a lot of organizations right now are looking for data governance professionals because they want to avoid this garbage in, garbage out situation. So I've been mentioning data governance, data management. Now let me break down those terms for you. What is data management? So data management is the development, execution, and supervision of plans, policies, and practices that deliver, control, protect, and enhance the value of data throughout its life cycle. This definition here is from the DAMA DM book. Now, DAMA is okay, let me use the analogy of project management. Just the way you have PMI as the #1 body for project management professionals, that's how you have DAMA as the #1 body for data management or data governance professionals. So this, when you see DAMA DM book, it's referring to the framework, it's referring to the organization and the framework that they have. So within that framework, there are 10 knowledge areas. We have data governance, data architecture, data modeling and design, data storage and operations, data security, data integration and interoperability, documents and content management, reference and master data, data warehousing and business intelligence, and metadata. So these are the knowledge areas within data management. And you can see data governance sits in the middle of data management. So what is data governance? Data governance is the framework of policies, standards, and processes that ensure data is accurate, secure, trusted, and used responsibly across an organization. Data governance does not require coding. So what do you do on the job? You create and enforce data policies, standards, and procedures. You ensure data quality, accuracy, and consistency across systems. You manage data privacy, compliance, and regulatory requirements. You work with stakeholders to build data accountability frameworks. And some of the core skills you learn or you need to learn to work in data governance are data policy writing, metadata management, data quality management, privacy and compliance, stakeholder management, and the DMBOK framework. I always like to show my DMBOK. So this book right here, this is the DMBOK. So you can see DAMA DMBOK. So this book is, our program is built off this book as well. So this is a framework for data management professionals. So once you can understand this framework, then you're good to go as a data governance professional. Now, why is data management a career opportunity or a good career opportunity for you? The first reason is that every organization runs on data. Data is a discipline that makes sure, data management is a discipline that makes sure that data is collected, stored, protected, and used correctly. Companies are willing to pay a premium for professionals who can do this. So why are companies hiring right now? Regulators are demanding better data practices. So you have GDPR, you have PIPEDA, you have HIPAA, there are so many other regulatory bodies, and they are demanding better data practices, mostly now in this time of AI. Also, AI is only as good as the data feeding it. So companies need data they can trust. Data breaches also cost companies millions of dollars. So prevention starts with governance. And then finally, most organizations are drowning in data but starving for insight. So the issue organizations have right now is not that they don't have data because they are generating millions and millions of data every day. However, the issue they're having is getting to use, excuse me, getting to use that data and having the right insights from that data. That is the issue they are having right now. Sorry, I got a notification from Zoom. I just want to check. Okay. All right. So with data governance, it's no coding. You don't need an IT degree. And the skills you already have, like communication, analysis, problem solving, these are exactly what the field needs. So that's why it's easy to transition into data governance or data management. Now let's look at the salary, with the average salary within these roles and the different job titles you could find in these roles. So you have the data governance analyst. The salary is anywhere from $75 to $120,000. Now you can see companies that would even pay you a lot more than this. It just depends on the size of the organization and their budget. The demand is very high. You have data steward anywhere from 70, I would even say 75 to 120. You have data quality analyst, metadata manager, data governance specialist, data privacy officer, data manager or data management manager or data governance manager. Then you have the chief data officer. Now, for all these roles, the demand is very high. All these roles can pay you over $100,000. Now, it depends on how well you can negotiate. It also depends on the organization, but you will find lots of jobs that would pay you this much. So we're going to do something right now, which is we're going to hop into LinkedIn so that we can look at data governance roles and see what they pay. I know that some organizations, I'll stop sharing my screen quickly so I can open my LinkedIn and then I'll start sharing again. I know that some organizations do not like to show what their salary is, but hopefully we find some good ones that will show so that I don't want a situation where you are here and you're just taking my word for it. No, don't take only my word for it. I want us to do the search together and then you would see what companies are actually paying. So I would share my screen again. Can you see my screen, everyone? Can someone just... Okay, so now I just did data governance jobs. That's all I'm searching for. So let's come here. This is for the United States. So let's see. What we're looking for is salaries first. So let's see if this company has their salary here. So you can see the kind of work: establish data governance models, principles, and operating processes, right? Define data policy standards, like I mentioned, metadata, all of this. So if you're someone who doesn't want to code, this is like an ideal role for you. Someone just wrote in chat, Intact Insurance is currently enrolling for data governance in Quebec. When you say enrolling, what do you mean? Is it a school? Because when I hear the term enrolling, it's they're hiring. What is Eunice, you wrote something in the chat. Are they hiring or what did you write? I don't understand what you mean. Okay, so this company, they didn't share their salary, but I'm going to move from them since they didn't share their salary. But see something here, because I'm going to mention later on. You can see Power BI Tableau. I'm going to tell you why I want you to take note of this at some point. You can see the tool, SQL. Yes, it's a non-code role, but sometimes they want you to have an understanding, basic understanding of SQL, basic understanding of Power BI or Tableau. Sometimes organizations want you to have that. Of course, and they expect you to know Microsoft Office suite, right? So, but let's still look for salaries because that's the key thing that I'm looking for today, so that you get to see what the salaries look like. Let's be hopeful that we see someone that has shared their salaries. I don't know why some organizations hide it. They're not being as transparent, but let's see. And CD certification, something else to note, CD certification, CDMP, which is from DAMA. Just want you to know that as well. This organization says top tier compensation, but they don't say what it is. That's not good enough. Let's see. I really want to see some salaries so that you can see salaries. Okay, good. East West Bank, you can see what they're paying. Data governance. Let's see the job title. The job title just says data governance. And then coming down here, you can see what they're paying, 115,000 US dollars to 175,000 US dollars annually. This is really good pay. So now whether you can get it, whether you get 115 or you get 175, depends on how well you position yourself and how well you can negotiate. Let's see some of the things. Data governance and catalog platforms such as Microsoft Purview. This is something we teach our students. I had a session this morning. I had 2 classes this morning actually, and I taught Microsoft Purview this morning and I taught Power BI this morning as well. So basically you can see one, this is head. So let's skip head. Although interestingly, I have a student who she's been applying for director level roles within data governance, but she's doing that because she feels like she has had managerial positions in the past, even though it wasn't data governance as her title, but she has led teams. So she's confident in herself and she's applying for director level roles. She says she has had some interviews. So usually I tell students, it depends on your level of comfort. Do what's comfortable for you, but do what you can defend. So let's see if we can find the salary here. For this organization, they didn't share their salary, but it's in California, and they went as far as having video clips of their team members talking about how good the organization is. Well, so I'm hoping this is giving you an insight into what the industry looks like. Let me see. So see this role. The base compensation for this role is $86,000 to $203,000. It's such a wide range. Such a wide range. So it means that depending on your skill sets, depending on how you can position yourself, how you can defend yourself during the interview or sell yourself during the interview, then you can get paid in between this range, but it's a really wide range. All right, so we've been looking at the US, so you can continue this search in your own time. Let's look at Canada, because I know we have some people from Canada on the call. So let's look at Canada. Already, Eunice shared with us that Intact Insurance is hiring, which is great. Salary was shared. You scrolled past fast. Oh, oh my. Okay, at Daisy, I didn't realize. Thank you for letting me know. Thank you for letting me know that. So let's look at Canada now. What is it like? Oh no, this is not the right role. This is Senior Solutions Architect. That's not what we're looking for. Data Governance Specialist. So let's see what they're asking for or what they're paying. So for this, see the range? This is in Canada, in Toronto, and it's $105,000 to $123,000. So that is for this role. And you see this 100% remote, hybrid, and in-office options. So they're very flexible is what they're saying. And what do they need you to have? Experience and knowledge of data governance in cross-functional environments, ability to assess and recommend improvements in data management processes, enthusiasm for problem solving and creative resourceful approach, self-starter. So see all the things that they need you to know. See all the things. Some things here, understanding of data warehouse, data mart concepts. So you see, they only want you to have an understanding. You're not building anything. Data warehouse, data mart, those are data engineering specialties. They are the data engineers. We do all this, but they want you to understand it. And we teach our students this. We introduce them to those concepts so that you just have that understanding. They mention some of their tools here. Here they have EDC, Colibra. So you see, they just gave this as examples. So even if you learn Purview, that is good enough for them. They want you to have knowledge of business intelligence tools like Tableau. For us, we train on Power BI. Now, if you know Power BI, Tableau is going to be easy for you because it's just different interface, but the same concept. So the skills are transferable. Let's look at a second one. Let's just look for another one. You can see this here, data quality analyst, and they're saying AI ready data, meaning that they just want you to know that you're coming to help them improve the quality of their data for the sake of AI. So let's see, strong SQL and data analysis skills across large complex data sets. We teach SQL in our program just to give, but this company, they are cheap, $65,000 to $90,000. They are kind of cheap, But the thing with roles like this, even when they're not paying so much, roles like this help you get your foot in the door. So even if you see a role that's going to pay you $90,000, you take it, even if that's not what you want, or even if it's $60,000. But that is $60,000 is very low for a data professional. I won't recommend that. I already, if you interviewed for a role like this and they offered you $60,000, I would tell you to negotiate the life out of that offer. Don't accept $60,000. At least 80, 90, at least is what you should be taking. Now, for such roles that are low paying, what you do is you use them to get your foot in the door. And after 6 months, you give yourself a timeline. I'm going to use this company. I'm going to learn from them as much as I can. And while I'm on this job, I will start applying to other companies. So you just use them as a stepping stone to a company that would appreciate you and pay you better. That's what you do with companies like that. So let's look at one more salary and then we move on. Yes, this is more like it. So you see this company, data governance specialist, $80,400. I wonder why $400 is here. $80,400 to $130,400. The $400 must mean a lot to them in this organization. But I am hoping that you all have an understanding, or it gives you an idea of what this field looks like. So now let's head back here. And we are going to be talking. We've looked at some job postings. You can look at more in your own time. Now, let's talk about the CDMP certification. I know someone asked me what the CDMP certification was at the beginning of this session. So the CDMP certification is the gold standard. So that the CDMP stands for Certified Data Management Professional. And it is the gold standard certification in data management. It is issued by DAMA International and recognized by employers worldwide across every major industry. So the CDMP certification is based off this book. This book is the framework for data management professionals globally. All right, so why does the CDMP matter? It is globally recognized, it's recognized across the world in different industries, also salary premiums. So you can see when we looked at the different job postings for those companies that had their salaries visible, you could see that some of them had a wide range. Now, a CDMP, if you have the certification, it can be you can use that as a negotiation tool. You can use that to help you negotiating. I like to always say this, and I'll repeat it. I think I said it earlier. Certification alone will not get you a job, because I know that there are people who just pile on certification, but then they're wondering, why is nobody calling me back? You need other things in addition to your certification, because when you write a certification, it shows that you know the framework, you understand the theory. It doesn't show that you can apply the theory. So that's the difference. So certification gives you that stamp of authority to say, yes, this person understands the framework, but can they apply it in a real life situation or scenario? That's a different ballgame. But certification is important because you can negotiate higher with the right certification. I had a mentee a few weeks back that negotiated for, it was a project management role, and they were able to move the offering. They initially were offered, I think they were offered $100,000, and they didn't want to take that. They reached out to me to say, this is what's been offered. And I told them to negotiate. Don't just accept the first thing they tell you. He was afraid, but he did it. And he was able to move from $100,000 to $120,000. And when he sent the email to the hiring manager, and even when he got on the phone call with them to negotiate the offer, one of the things he mentioned was the fact that he has the PMP. And so that alone opened that conversation up to say, oh no, I am certified in this. I'm not just coming as a beginner or a novice. I actually know what I'm doing. And he was able to move from $100,000 to $120,000. So that's what a certification can do for you. But I'm not saying that just go and bag different certifications and you get a job. It doesn't really work like that. Also, instant credibility. It proves your knowledge of DAMA DMBOK, the industry standard framework for data management. Then it's a career differentiator as well. So most candidates applying for data roles don't have it. So that's the thing, because data governance is still, it's, I would say, relatively new, meaning that data governance has been in existence for so many years, but it's not a very mature field, in the sense that now with AI, organizations are beginning to see why they need to govern their data. In the past, yes, they knew they had to govern their data, but many organizations did not make it a priority, except in situations where regulatory bodies or regulation mandated them to do that. But for many organizations, because there was no regulation saying you needed to govern your data, there are many organizations that didn't prioritize data governance. They were prioritizing just data analytics. But the problem with that is, if you prioritize only data analytics is on the consumer level. You're going to be having reports based on bad data. Now, it's still very easy for organizations to what's the word now? To escape data governance and just have data analytics, because data analysts, if you speak with any data analyst, they will tell you 80% of their time is spent cleaning data. 80% of their time is spent transforming data, because data usually will have a lot of errors. And why does data have errors? Oh, did someone just speak? That kind of scared me. I wasn't expecting any voice. All right, let me make sure everyone is muted. Okay, I almost jumped out of my skin just now. All right, everybody's muted. Okay, so many organizations could get away with having analytics with bad data, because they leave it to the data analysts to sort out the data quality issues. But now with AI, AI is not going to sort out your data quality issues. So if you have data quality issues and you put AI on top of that, AI is going to embarrass you in the biggest way possible. So it is forcing the hands of many organizations. And many organizations now, they see the value of AI. Everybody, I believe, can see the value of AI. So they want to implement AI, but how do you implement AI on bad data? So that's one of the reasons why data governance is growing really, really fast. If you do a search, maybe ask ChatGPT, ask Claude, ask any of the AI, or just do a Google search on the growth, the anticipated growth rates of data governance as a profession, you're going to see that it is really high because of AI. So coming back to the CDMP, there are different levels. You have associate level, practitioner, master, and fellow. What you should just know about this is, when you write the fundamentals exam, when you first start, the very first exam you write, you're going to be getting the associate level. To get practitioner, master, and fellow, you need to write some additional exams. So once you can get over, I think you need to get about 70%, then you're qualified to write the practitioner level. But if you get, say, 60%, then you're fine, you have passed. Organizations don't care about these different levels. What they care about is that you even have level 1, which is associate level. So that's what we prepare our students to do, write this exam to get the associate level. So the opportunity is massive and the timing is perfect. You can already see you have $100,000 as average salaries. There's no coding required, but I like to put that caveat to say, yes, data governance is about policies, standards. They don't really need you to write code. However, knowing SQL is an advantage. 1 second, please. SQL is an advantage. So if you know SQL, just at a beginner level, that is good enough. And in our program, we teach SQL to our students, just so you have that advantage. It doesn't mean that as a data governance professional, you're going to be writing SQL queries. You may not. You likely would not. 80% of the time, you're not doing that. But just to have that advantage, we teach you SQL. AI is creating new demand. So I think I have hammered on that point so much. So I'm not even going to say anything on that. I believe that it's clear to everybody how AI is creating that demand. So AI regulation is reshaping data careers. When you transition, you don't start from zero. You start by reframing the experience you already have. Your existing skills are more valuable than you think. Let's do a bit of a check to see some of the skills that are needed to work in data governance. And like I said, I like having an interactive session. So let me know if you see anything here that you think you already have, please write it in the chat. So problem solving skills, do you already have that? Business understanding, I'm looking in the chat, I can't see anybody identifying. Are we saying we don't have problem solvers here? No problem solver on this call? Business understanding, how organizations operate. Are there people here who have an understanding of businesses? Domain expertise. Do you have knowledge of a specific industry? Maybe finance, healthcare, retail, government, education, so many. Attention to detail. Communication. Process improvement. Documentation. Strategic thinking. Stakeholder management. Leadership. Adaptability. These are some of the skills that are needed for you to thrive in data governance. So if you check very well, you will see that you likely even have all of these skills already. So what you need, exactly like Adese just said, she has all the skills. So if you already have all the skills, what you then need is to add data governance frameworks or data management framework on top of these skills that you already have. And that's how you leverage your previous experience. These are some testimonials from some of my previous students. This student said, "Hello, coach. Thanks for your help during my interview. All the questions asked were things I'd done with you during the program. So it was really easy for me. Thank you so much. They sent the offer today. I just signed it now. It's still like a movie to me." Another student said, "I just wanted to share some good news. I've received an offer for a data governance analyst role, and I'll be starting next month. I'm really grateful for the support from you and the Tech Drivers team throughout the program. The session's guidance and feedback were incredibly helpful during my transition." Another student said, "Hi, Jennifer. Just wanted to say thank you again. I officially started my new role this week as a data governance analyst. The guidance you gave during the program really helped me understand the field and prepare for interviews." I get a lot of WhatsApp messages because I use WhatsApp a lot. I believe all of you are, I want to believe everybody on this call is in our WhatsApp group. And so you have access to my WhatsApp number. So I get messages like that all the time from our students. I get messages like we have a cohort that ended today. They had their last class today. I told them Power BI this morning. That was their last class. And already in week 4 of that cohort, we had some students who wrote the CDMP and they passed. And we've had students they've already been applying to roles. So it really just depends on you and your efforts. But we get students a lot reaching out. I don't know if you can hear this video. A lot of times people tell me they can't hear this, so I'm not sure. Can you hear this? If you can hear, just let me know in the chat that you can hear what the lady is saying. If you can't, okay, I'm just going to skip. Okay, I'm just going to skip this. These are some testimonials from some of our students. I'm going to skip that since I don't know why it doesn't always play properly. All right, so now I'm going to talk about the Tech Drivers Land framework for landing a 6-figure data role. Now, we have a framework that we use with our students. It's a proven 4-phase framework developed from my own career transition. It is what I did and is what I've been helping people do using this framework. So the first L stands for learn. Here, you get to learn the core concepts of data governance, data management frameworks, and the industry standard. So that's what you do. Within the first 4 weeks of our training program, you are in the learn phase. You're just learning all the concepts. Then after that, you go into apply, where you apply real-world case studies and tools used by employers today. So you start building your portfolio from week 1. Today's class, I had 2 classes this morning before this session with you all. Well, the first class I had this morning, it was Power BI. And what were they doing? They were in the apply phase, applying what they have learned into building a data quality scorecard in Power BI. That's what the students did this morning. The second group of students that I taught this morning, they were working on Microsoft Purview, and it was still the apply phase. I think I met with them on Tuesday. and I walked them through Microsoft Purview. I showed them how to use Microsoft Purview. Now, in today's class, what they did was to now apply everything they've been learning. I gave them access to Microsoft Purview. I gave them access to data sets, and they were building data quality rules in Purview. So that is how we apply, because for us, when the students go through learning theory and then applying, they become more confident. It's not a case of I read a book and I'm here in the interview. No, you have actually applied it to a real data set. You've actually used the real tool that you will find in the organization. Then after that, after apply, you have navigate. You navigate the job market, you position your transferable skills, and identify the right roles for your background and experience. So once they go through apply, navigating is where you start applying for jobs. So between navigating and demonstrating, you are applying for jobs. So demonstrating, you're polishing your resume, you are acing your interviews, and then you're activating our job placement support network, because we support our students. After the program, we still offer support to the student. So this is the framework we use for training helping non-tech professionals, or even sometimes we have some tech professionals. Like in one of the cohorts currently running, we have business analysts there. We also have someone who's I think he does Salesforce. I can't remember his job title, but he works with Salesforce. Then we have someone who's a software engineer there as well. Now, sometimes you could have very tech professionals coming in and saying that, you know what, I don't want to code anymore. I'm tired of writing codes all the time. I just want a career path, because writing code, there's always something new to learn. It never ends. I want something that gives me a bit more flexibility and stability. And so they want a non-code role. So we have people like that. So we have people who are tech professionals, already techie, already in the system, like the business analyst in this current cohort. When I asked her why she came, even though she's already in IT, she's like, she's tired of being jack of all trades, because in business analysis, they're making her do everything. And she just wants to have an area of specialty. And so she's choosing data governance to be her area of specialty. So we have people like that. Then we have people who have never done anything in tech. They've worked, like we have people who are from sales. We have people who are from I think there's somebody currently, or there's more than one person from customer care. I'm not sure if I'm getting it right in the way to say it. Customer care, basically handling customers, right? And the person is there, and I'm like, if you're coming from customer care, you've been dealing with so much data. So we have people that come in from different backgrounds. So irrespective of where you are currently, you most definitely can transition into data governance. Now, let me introduce you to our program. It's called the Data Governance Work Experience Program. It's for 8 weeks. We meet twice weekly. So we have live and pre-recorded classes. So we have Zoom live sessions, just like we're having a live session right now. We have Zoom live sessions. We also have self-paced videos. And because we have an LMS, where once you enroll, we give you access to our LMS, and then you can have access to your self-paced videos. Or for even our Zoom live classes, we record every session. So even when you miss a session, you can watch the replays. Then one thing to note, no coding is required for you to join the program, but we teach you SQL. SQL is easy. And now with AI, we also teach you how you can use AI to write SQL queries. So don't be afraid of, oh my God, I'm not technical at all. It's fine. We'll show you how to do that. Remember, the thing is, data governance is a non-code role. Have that in mind. But some organizations, you know how some organizations just they want to give you a lot more than you should be doing. So in such situations, we don't want you to see a job, and because they wrote SQL there, you don't apply. So that's why we teach you SQL. That's why we also teach you Power BI. Then there's the certification prep as well. So the CDMP certification prep, we have a mock exam that all our students go through. We help you prepare for the exam. And for us, we have just one outcome, which is we want to get you job ready. We want you to be a job ready data governance professional, so that when you leave the program, you're ready to start applying for jobs. Now, we have a cohort that started today. Now, today was onboarding. For them, onboarding is we send you an email, give you access to all to the materials, to the LMS, and we just give you information for you to get started. So onboarding is not a live class. So for anybody who wants to join this cohort, you still can, because all you get today is an email. You haven't missed anything. The classes themselves start on Thursday. So Thursday, 7 p.m. is when we're going to have our very first class. So what do you get in this program? Within these 8 weeks, what are you getting from us? You get governance frameworks and strategy. So data management and the DMBOK framework, data governance strategy and roadmap, data quality tools and framework, introduction to AI governance. You also get the certification prep. Then you get hands-on project experience. Like I mentioned, we use real tools, real-world case studies, and the tools. It's not a case of you're just watching me do. You just watch me, I come to class, I show you Purview, you watch me and you go. No, it is a case of you watch me do, and then you do it yourself. And you work in groups. So we usually have group work for our students. That way there's a lot of interaction going on within the groups. Then we have career positioning as well. We teach you to translate your transferable skills, position your experience for data roles, LinkedIn and personal brand for data, roles, job market strategy and application. Then we have the job search and interview readiness. So we have interview prep, mock interviews, salary negotiation, even resume prep as well, or resume writing. Then we have support, mentorship, and references. So we provide that for you as well. So this is what you get within 8 weeks. It is really, really, really loaded. Now, within the program, what are we hoping to get? At the end of the program, you become a certified data management professional. You have the skills employers need and are hiring for. You have work experience for your resume, and then you can land your role as a data governance professional. So this is what we aim to achieve with our students. And of course, the CDMP, that is the gold standard in data management certification that I mentioned. Now, what is the cost? What is the investment for this program? I'm going to start by telling you the value of the program. Value is not the same as the fee, but the value, what are you getting? You're getting the LAND framework. You're getting weekly live training and video curriculum. You're getting AI for data governance training. You're getting certification prep. You're getting career launch package and its career coaching resume. You're getting job search accelerator, interview prep, salary negotiation. You're getting templates, workbooks, case studies. You're also getting private community and ongoing support. Something that I haven't mentioned here is you're getting the tool. So you're getting Microsoft Purview. We had to pay for Microsoft, the enterprise access. I paid for the enterprise license recently just because I wanted to even improve on the offering that we give to our students. So that's why now, in the past, our students would just watch me use Microsoft Purview, but now they get to use Microsoft Purview, the same Microsoft Purview they will find in an organization. Eunice, you're asking, are we receiving the book or do we need to buy it? You receive an e-copy of the book. So that's part of the things we give during onboarding. We send you an e-copy of the textbook, not the hard copy. If you want the hard copy, you will have to get that from Amazon, but we send you the e-copy. Now, the investment for this program is $1,997 US. However, we're giving a discount. Rather than pay $1,997 US, what you get to pay because you're on the call is $997. That's what you get to pay. And to support our students or to support people who want to join the program, we allow payments in installments. So you can pay twice, you can pay 3 times, or you can pay it as a whole, right? So this is how flexible we try to be. We only have one caveat, which is that you have to complete your payment by week 4 of the program. So no matter how you break your payments, whether you choose to pay twice or you choose to pay 3 times, by week 4 of the program, you should have completed payments to retain your access of the program. So see some bonuses you get. You get Power BI Masterclass. Like I mentioned, I had the Power BI session today. You get the CDMP prep question bank with answers. There's a mock exam, access to private alumni network, SQL training. Remember I mentioned that we train you on SQL. SQL is not a part of data governance, but we do that as an add-on just so that our students are really good in the job market. And then ATS-friendly resume templates, we share that with you, recruiter outreach templates, and introduction to AI governance. So these are the things we give you as bonuses in addition to the core data governance or data management program. I like to say it this way, this investment pays for itself. And it pays for itself fast. And I want you to see that this is a lifelong investment in yourself. So let's assume you go through the program, let's say 8 weeks, you've done all your learning, you've written your exam, and then by, let's say within 12 weeks, you get your first role. Now, let's assume you get a role that pays you $100,000. If your annual salary is $100,000, your monthly take home is going to be somewhere around $8,000. The investment for today is $997. So you can see that even within your first paycheck, with your first paycheck, you've already gotten back what you invested in yourself. So for me, I see it as a no-brainer. So this is what we're offering, and we have just one goal. The goal is get you job ready in 8 to 12 weeks. We want to get you certified, skilled, and then hired. That is our goal. All right, so I'm going to stop sharing my screen now, and then I will take your questions. So what questions do you have for me? Let me, okay. Do you have any questions? So like I said, we have the onboarding. Onboarding is today. So if you join today, you get sent the onboarding materials, and then you just prepare for Thursday's class. Thursday is our first class. We meet Thursdays and Saturdays. So that's why I said I had a class this morning. Thursday, or I had two classes this morning actually. Thursdays we meet at 7 p.m. EST, and Saturdays we meet at 9 a.m. EST. All right, someone is asking, so in CAD, how much is that? I'll need to put that in Google. I'm not so sure. Can you maybe just do a Google search or just do a quick conversion on Google? $997 to CAD. What is that? You can just do a search on that. How much is the certification, CDMP certification, and is it included? No, CDMP certification is not included in the $997. CDMP certification alone is 300, I think $311. That's the price for the CDMP certification is USD. So okay, Amaka says it's $1,389 in Canadian dollars. Okay. Thank you very much, Amaka, for doing that conversion. All right. Any questions? I hope I've answered the questions. Feel free to unmute if you would like to be a part of this cohort that we're having the onboarding today and the live classes are starting on Thursday. Do let me know. A lot of the roles we looked at asked for years of experience. How do you navigate that? And how do you guys help with the job finding process? So that's the part where we talk about leveraging your previous experience. That's where that comes in. You have worked somewhere before. You have worked with data. You may not have had the job title as data governance analyst or specialist or manager, but you have worked with data. So we help you identify the data work that you have done without realizing, because a lot of people do data work daily and they don't know that they're working with data. So that's what we help you do. Translate that your experience into data governance experience. Like there's someone's resume I'm currently working on. She has business analysis. This is another student. She has business analysis experience and she has a lot of data migration projects that she helps the organization do. But she didn't realize that even though she was doing all those projects of data migration, software implementation, she didn't even know that there was data governance within what she was doing. So now that we're working together on her resume, she's beginning to see, wow, oh, I have so much experience in data governance already that I can leverage on. So it's the same thing. And I use myself as an example. In transitioning to tech, when I transitioned, my career has moved really fast. And the reason my career moved really fast is because I already had transferable skills even while I was in education. I was already a leader. I already owned my own schools. I was already leading teams. I was already doing a lot of reporting. I was doing a lot with data. So I didn't have the job title, data analyst, data governance. However, I was doing a lot with data. So when it was time to rewrite my resume, rewrite my experience, it was easy for me to just call back my previous experience and translate it to the language of data. So that's what we teach you how to do. So Nnamdi, I hope that answers your question. In the chat, my admin has put in the chat, she has put in the chat the payment links. Just something to note, we use Stripe because I think I've had a few instances where people are like, oh, Stripe, are you taking all my card details? We don't take your card details. You can Google what Stripe is just in case you've never worked with Stripe, you've never used Stripe, or you don't know what Stripe is a payment platform. We don't have access to it. What it does, it collects the payments for us and then pays into our account. So I don't have access to your card details or anything. So don't be afraid if you click on the link and it's asking you for card details. But verify, Google, ask ChatGPT about Stripe. Can you trust Stripe? Don't just take my word for it, just for the sake of anybody who's a bit reluctant because they're seeing like, oh, it's asking me for my details. How would someone get company name to put on resume as past experience? The company you've worked in before, you put as part of the past experience. Also, we allow our students use our company. We're a registered company. We allow our students use our company as part of their experience. Okay, I see someone's hand up. I don't want to murder your name, Radjiv. So sorry if I didn't get your name right. You have your hand up, yes.
Yes, good afternoon.
Good
Yes, I'm
afternoon.
Rajiv, and thank you so much for your presentation. My question is, you said that in that program we'll have Power BI and SQL classes.
SQL.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So my question is, what about the person who are using Mac as a personal laptop?
Yeah. So for now, I like yesterday we had that issue, or was it yesterday? No, on Thursday I had that issue where someone had two people in the class had Mac products, and I said we had to check.
Ye-
I'm not so sure because Power BI is not compatible with Mac, but I believe that there should be an alternative. I'm not so sure. As a matter of fact, when that happened on Thursday, I gave them an assignment and I said, go figure out, just do a Google search. What happens if you don't have a
Yeah,
Mac? How do you
because
use Power
yeah,
BI?
because by the way, I'm a data analyst. I'm using Mac. I have a Mac as a personal laptop, and I use Parallels. So that's why I can use Power BI on my Mac. But I can tell you, since I put it, since I start using Parallels, my laptop is so slow, and that's a
Hmm.
different kind of experience. Yeah, I don't think it's I should not
Yeah.
recommend it to any person to do it. But that's my personal experience.
Sorry, you won't recommend what to anybody? I didn't quite catch that.
Oh, Parallels. There is a software. The
Oh,
yeah, the name is Parallels. You can buy it online, and once you put it on your Mac, you can use Power BI.
okay, okay.
Yeah,
But you
but I
said it's
will.
making your system slow.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hmm. Okay. Wow. Okay, so that's the thing with Mac products. Personally, I'm not a fan of Apple products because of all these compatibility issues. Um, but that's something that maybe I don't know if you could have access to someone else's laptop that you can use for the sake of learning. Because it's even though you're going to use any of these other tools to help you work, you want to practice the way it would be in an organization. In most organizations, they would give you Windows because of compatibility issues, right? So yes. So, but I know with Apple, compatibility issues is usually a problem. Let's see. I'm just gonna look at the comment section to see if I've missed anything. When does the next cohort start? So the next cohort is starting on Thursday, this Thursday. So Liz, we're starting this Thursday. The live classes are this Thursday. Another question from another Liz. Okay, we have two Lizes here. Can I work in the health sector, in the healthcare with this? Because I used to be a dentist back home in Nigeria. Oh yes, medical data is a thing. Healthcare is highly regulated. Because they're highly regulated, they have to comply when it comes to data privacy, data governance. That's usually required from from the healthcare industry. So yes, you can. You most definitely can. Adesi says she uses a Mac too. Um, after this cohort, when is the next cohort? We would have a cohort in July, but I'm not sure of the date. Or we will likely have a cohort in July. I'm not sure of the date yet. Because I may take a summer break. I'm not sure yet. So we may or may not have a cohort in July. Okay, Omo Lolu, sorry for how I'm pronouncing your name. You didn't hear when the next cohort is. Okay, so our next cohort is this Thursday. The next cohort is on Thursday. And for the next cohort, we start Thursday, 7 p.m. EST. However, onboarding is today. So if you want to join us, remember you can pay in different installments. And when you pay in installments, we'll give you the onboarding email where you have the textbook, access to our LMS, and a few other things that are required. And then from Thursday, our live classes start. As for the next cohort after this new cohort that's just about to start, I will need to get back to you on that. It's likely going to be in July, but I need to check certain things before we fix a date. So I hope that answers your question. Any other questions? Anybody wanting to join? Do let us know. The link has been put in the chat, so do let us know. Any other questions before we call it a day today? Any other questions? What's the best email to reach out to you? I'm going to ask my admin to put that. Amaka, can you please put that in the chat? The official email. It's academy@techtribers.com. Let me write that here. Okay, she has written it in the chat. Okay, thank you. All right, academy@techtribers.com. That is the email to reach us on. Okay, Eunice says you're interested, but you want to join in July. That's fine, Eunice. It's just that I cannot guarantee that we'll still be giving this discount in July. I can't guarantee that. That's the only thing I would say. Adesi says I'm a financial compliance officer with relevant certifications. What's the nexus? I'm not sure what you mean by that word. Adesi, do you want to unmute and just ask your question? Because I kind of didn't get that. Financial compliance officer, that is great. You can get into data governance. You already understand compliance, so that is a big advantage for you. Sam says, how does data governance relate to AI governance? And do you offer another program focused on AI governance? Yes, we are launching another program for AI governance shortly. We're going to be doing that this summer. AI governance is different from data governance. So to explain the link between AI governance and data governance focuses on governing data. So it's about data quality, making sure data is of high quality for the organization, so that whatever their use case, whether it's analytics, whether it's reports, whether it's compliance, data is of high quality. That is the focus of data governance. Now, AI governance is about governing the AI models. So data governance is a part of AI governance. So AI governance has a broader scope than data governance. Data governance is a part of AI governance because you cannot govern AI without first governing the data. That's why you would find some roles now where it is data and AI governance as a role, as a job title. There are roles that are coming up now that way. Sometimes when you read through an AI governance role, the job description, you will see they're asking you of knowledge of data governance because data governance forms a part of AI governance. Another thing to note is AI governance professionals come from two areas. They come from cybersecurity or they come from data governance. They come from cybersecurity because cybersecurity has to do with compliance, policies, risks, and all of that. That's the GRC part of things. So GRC professionals naturally feed into AI governance, same way data governance professionals naturally feed into AI governance. But AI governance on its own, it's a field where for you to get in is not really entry level. You should have had something. It's either you're coming from data governance or you're coming from cybersecurity. You must come from somewhere with AI governance. So I hope that explains AI governance to you. So data governance professionals are usually hired to become AI governance professionals. This is okay. You're asking for the link and connection. Okay, link and connection between let me see that your comment again. I think you say you're a financial, but I'm trying to find that. You're a financial compliance officer. Now, financial compliance officers, the areas where you can, when you're thinking of your previous experience, how you can leverage your previous experience. Financial, meaning that you have understanding of finance data. You have worked with finance data. When we're talking about, we're talking about compliance, that is policies. There must be a policy that they're going to comply with, right? So that is also linked with the kind of work you'll be doing in data governance. So you see already, if you look through your experience, you're already working with policies, you're already working with compliance, you're already working with data, and you're working with finance. So finance is your domain. So you are bringing all of that. So that is the link. So for someone like you, if you're trying to transition into data governance, That is how you draw the link between what you've done and what you want to do. I hope that is helpful. Any other questions? Any other questions? Remember, the onboarding is today. So, and we allow you pay in installments. So you can pay like $300 to start, just in case you don't have the whole amount. But the only thing is, by week 4, you should have completed payment. Any other questions? Any other questions before we call it a day? Any other questions? All right. So if you would like to join this cohort, just leave us a message on WhatsApp. My admin is there. She'll be monitoring. I know right now our WhatsApp groups are closed. You can't really send messages on the WhatsApp group. So I would ask Amaka, please, Nancy, please open up the WhatsApp group so that if people have questions, you can put your questions there. But I typically prefer, if you have questions, so that the WhatsApp group is not too noisy. If you have questions, just send us a private message on WhatsApp. I believe you all have access to my WhatsApp number and the admin's WhatsApp number. Send us a message. Let us know. Once you make payments, make a screenshot and send us a message so that we can send you your onboarding email. Thank you so much, everyone. I believe there are no more questions. If there are more questions, you can put that in the chat. Someone is asking for the WhatsApp group link. Nancy, please, can you send the WhatsApp group link before I end the meeting? Just put the WhatsApp group link so we know that Mary has received it. Any other questions before we call it a day? Nancy, can you please put the WhatsApp group link? Okay, thank you. So Mary, please use that link. Use the link. Let us know when you've done it and I can end the meeting. Done. All right, perfect. So thank you all so much for your time, and I'll see, for those of you who are joining the program, I'll see you in class. For those of you who are sitting on the fence, you can chat me up if you still have more questions. All right, so I look forward to welcoming the new cohort on Thursday. All right, enjoy the rest of your day, everybody, and bye for now.